You know, building a billion-dollar company, it's the dream, right? The absolute pinnacle for any entrepreneur. But what's the real difference between the handful of people who actually pull it off and the millions who try? It's not just one killer idea. No way. It's a brutal journey, but one with a surprisingly clear roadmap. So, let's walk that road together.
So what does it really take? Look, there's no magic wand here. The best way to think about it is like a series of gates. Yeah, monumental challenges. And each one is specifically designed to weed out pretty much everyone. Our job today? It's to figure out how to find the keys to unlock every single one of them.
Okay, let's just start with a cold, hard dose of reality, shall we? Did you know that almost half of all businesses just disappear within 5 years? Gone. And hitting that first million in sales, fewer than 5% ever get there. So $1 billion? $1 billion? I mean, statistically speaking, that's basically a fantasy.
So, yeah, the odds are just overwhelmingly stacked against you. But, and this is a big but, it's not impossible. See, the ones who make it, they leave clues behind. They show us that there is a path, a roadmap of challenges that, if you can conquer them, can lead you straight to that billion-dollar finish line.
All right, first things first, we have to forge the foundation. This initial phase, it's not about the flashy stuff, rapid growth or cool offices. Nope. It's about getting 3 essential building blocks perfectly right. Because if you mess this part up, trust me, the whole structure is going to come crumbling down later.
And here it is, step 1, the absolute bedrock of everything. You've got to find a billion-dollar problem. Look, billion-dollar companies aren't born from just clever little ideas. They're born from solving massive, painful, widespread problems. Most businesses, they're out there solving $10,000 problems. To become a giant, you got to hunt for the billion-dollar pains.
Just think about the sheer scale of the problems these guys tackled. Uber? They didn't just make a slightly better taxi app. They went after a completely broken global industry. Airbnb? They didn't just list a few spare rooms. They saw this huge inefficiency, overpriced hotels on one side, empty homes on the other, and connected them. From Netflix killing DVD frustration to Amazon tackling retail inefficiency and SpaceX making space travel affordable, they all found problems so huge that the solutions were destined to be worth billions. Okay, so finding that huge problem, that gets you on the playing field. But building a truly revolutionary solution, well, that's how you win the entire game. And that brings us to step 2. You can't just create a better product. You have to create a whole new category. The Tesla Model S is the absolute perfect example of this. For, 100 years, electric cars were basically glorified golf carts, right? They were clunky, slow, kind of a joke. And then bam, the Model S drops. It's sleek, it's insanely fast, it's a piece of rolling technology. It didn't just make a better EV, it instantly made almost every other car on the road feel like a relic from the past. That is how you define a new category. So let's say you've done it. You've found a massive problem and you've built a game-changing product. A lot of founders think, okay, I'm done. But honestly, you're just getting started. Because without a way to get that incredible product in the hands of millions of people, it's really just a cool prototype sitting in a lab. And this is step 3, building a scalable distribution system. I want you to really think about what Amazon is. We call it a retailer, but it's not. At its heart, Amazon is a distribution company. It's a logistics monster. Those giant warehouses, the planes, the delivery vans pulling up to your door, that is the real product. Without that engine to deliver at an unbelievable scale, even the best ideas are just hobbies. The takeaway here, billion-dollar companies don't just make things, they have to be experts at moving them. Okay, so the foundation is poured and it's solid. Now the focus has to shift inward. This next part of the journey is all about building the fortress. We're talking about the culture, the operations, the defenses that let you grow like crazy without completely imploding under the pressure. Think about it. As you scale up, you, the founder, can't possibly be the one making every single decision. You just can't be in every room at once. So the big question is, how do you scale your own decision-making? The answer, step 4, is culture. A really powerful company culture becomes your proxy. It's like a ghost of you in the room, guiding your team to make the right calls even when you're nowhere in sight. Google is just a fantastic case study for this. Their whole culture is built to foster big thinking, to encourage risk-taking. They famously gave engineers 20% time to work on their own passion projects. And you know what came out of that? Little things like Gmail and Google Maps. When you get it right, a strong culture literally becomes an engine for game-changing innovation. Here's a hard truth.
Whatever worked for your team of 10 people is going to break spectacularly when you have a team of 1,000. That chaotic, move fast and break things energy becomes a huge liability. A missed email isn't just an oops anymore, it's a crisis. A small product bug doesn't just annoy a few people, it can crash millions of devices. This is where you hit step 5. You have to institute operational excellence.
So what is operational excellence? Well, the whole principle was really pioneered by post-World War II Japanese manufacturing. Think companies like Sony. It's based on ideas like Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. And the core idea is simple but profound. How you do things is just as important as what you do. Sony didn't just make cool products. It built a global reputation on incredible craftsmanship, efficiency, and quality. To be a world-class company, you have to do everything in a world-class way.
All right, so your company is running like a well-oiled machine. But guess what? Your competitors are getting smarter too. So what's going to stop them from just copying your idea and stealing your customers? This brings us to step 6. You have to secure a competitive moat. This is your unique, durable advantage that basically makes your business an impenetrable fortress.
Let's look at some of the best moats out there. For Apple, it's the ecosystem, right? Your iPhone talks to your Mac, which talks to your watch. It all just works so perfectly together that the thought of leaving is a huge pain. For Amazon, it's that insane global distribution network we talked about. And for Google, it's their culture combined with access to just unimaginable amounts of data. See, a moat isn't just about winning a customer over. It's about making it practically unthinkable for them to ever leave.
Okay, the foundation is solid. The fortress is secure. Now we enter the final stage of the journey, achieving immortality. This is the part where you stop being just a company and you start becoming an institution. It's about building a legacy that will last. At this level, believe it or not, your specific product features don't matter as much anymore. Why? Because they can be copied. Your prices can always be beaten. The one thing that truly endures, the thing that becomes untouchable, is your brand. And that's step 7, building an iconic brand. You're not selling a thing anymore. You're selling a feeling, an identity, a story.
I mean, just look at Red Bull. What do they sell? A sugary energy drink. But what do they really sell? They sell adrenaline. They sell adventure. They sell the feeling of doing something absolutely insane, like jumping from the edge of space. The brand has become infinitely more powerful than the can of liquid it's printed on. That's the magic right there, selling the thing behind the thing. And finally, we arrive at the end game, the 8th and final challenge. This is where you become so deeply woven into the very fabric of society that the world literally cannot imagine functioning without you. You become essential infrastructure.
Just think about this for a second. For millions of us, our iPhone isn't just a phone. It's an extension of our brains, our lives. Microsoft isn't just software. It is the absolute backbone of governments and corporations worldwide. And Visa or MasterCard, that's not just a credit card company. It's the actual plumbing of the entire global economy. If you tried to pull them out, the whole system would collapse. That's what it means to be too big to fail.
And there you have it. That's the MAT. 8 massive challenges, one after the other. It takes you all the way from finding a problem worth solving to becoming so essential you're basically part of the world's infrastructure. The journey is, without a doubt, brutal, but it's not a mystery anymore. The map is right there for anyone who's bold enough to actually pick it up and follow it.
So that really only leaves one question, doesn't it? As you look at the world with all its problems, its frustrations, and its inefficiencies, what billion-dollar problem are you going to solve?